Introduce, I've got Jack Cheng, who's the CEO of MIH Consortium. I have Edward Hightower, who's the CEO and president of Lordstown Motors. And then I have Praveen Penmetsa, thank you, of Monarch Tractor. And then thank you as well for joining us is Frank Modiri from INDI EV. Thank you so much. What I'd like to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jack to start with. And just have each of them give a quick overview of their company, and then each of them will have an opportunity to do that, and then we'll kick off with a couple of questions. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it to you, Jack. Thank you.
A little bit of introduction for myself. I'm Jack Chen. I'm the MIH Consortium's CEO. It's sponsored by Foxconn, and we are actually an ecosystem for the supply chain to manage the relationship and support all these initiatives for the next generation EV on the hardware and software. We have about 2,500 members right now, software, hardware. So it's an honor and also a pleasure to be in CES. So I want to turn it to Ed to introduce himself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jack. Good afternoon. My name is Edward Hightower. I'm the CEO and president of Lordstown Motors. We are an original equipment manufacturer of electric vehicles targeting the commercial fleet segment. We have our Endurance on the floor here, our full-size battery electric pickup, second most popular segment in the United States, and the Endurance is was a semi-finalist, but now finalist for North American Truck of the Year. So we're looking forward to the final jury's decision on January 11th. We are unique in that we have a partnership with Foxconn that goes beyond the contract manufacturing of the Endurance at the Foxconn EV Ohio plant, which we sold to Foxconn back in May of 2021. We have an agreement by which we will be developing future electric vehicle products in collaboration with the Foxconn EV ecosystem, including the MIH Consortium going forward. So that will allow smaller OEMs like us to gain scale by working with a common hardware and software component set for future vehicles. And our team, our Lordstown team, will do all of the design, engineering, homologation, testing, industrialization of future EV products for Lordstown, for our brand of vehicles, for our commercial fleet customers, and for other OEMs. So we're really excited about our asset-light and innovative business model, and I'm really pleased to speak with each of you today. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Praveen Penmetsa. I'm the CEO of Monarch Tractor. One thing that goes along with every pickup truck is a tractor if you're a farmer. So this is a great partnership from that standpoint. But again, we believe in food security. The whole world is now waking up to how world events can start to transform food security, price of food, nutrition of food, food sustainability. The keynote today was opened by an ag equipment company, not a consumer electronics company. Just think about that for a second today. So at Monarch Tractor, we are doing an all-electric, autonomous, smart tractor. And all future tractors are going to be electric, autonomous, and smart. And we are supported by Case New Holland Industrial, which is the second largest tractor company in the world. And the tractor that you see in the booth here is a tractor that every farmer in the world can actually acquire and use. It's the most commonly used size of tractor as well. This is not a gigantic tractor that a farmer on the other side of the planet has no option of using. So this small tractor is what powers our food ecosystem. We are proud at Monarch to be transforming the whole food ecosystem with smart electric automated equipment. But most importantly, I'm excited to share the stage here with the Foxconn MIH team, because what's going to happen is when we talk about smart electric and automated, we need new kinds of partnerships like what we see here today, and we need new kinds of manufacturing and scaling and operational support, which is what the four of us today are trying to do, is to make this accessible to everybody on the planet. And I'm specifically focused on the food ecosystem side, but at the end of the day, the tractor is one of the most important vehicles on the planet, and all of us are slowly waking up to that. So with that, I'll hand the mic over.
Hi, this is Frank Modiri with INDI. Thank you for being here. At INDI, we see ourselves as a driving force with the next generation of EV, especially making it affordable. And also, our slogan is "You do you." This is the culture we're trying to promote. The vehicle that you see here, INDI is an extension. Is not about a mode of transportation, just going from A to B. We're not no longer focusing on horsepower, while we're also making sure all the performance is there. Also is about computing power. And the reason we're here, we like to align ourselves with like-minded people like Jack and the rest of the team, that they can deliver that kind of new technology, innovation. And we are excited to be partnered with the same team here. That we look forward to bring the INDI One, that is a platform that is very flexible and affordable. We are a US-based company, and we have supply chain all across the world. And I ask you to please go to our website and see all the specs and the details about INDI One. Again, I say this INDI One is an extension of your house, can be your office. You can do live streaming. We have a supercomputer integrated in the car. This is the leading edge of technology. You can do gaming, you can do live stream, whatever you want to do, and it's open source. As I mentioned, we bring a lot of technology to the car, but also we did not sacrifice performance. And most important, we want to keep it affordable, and that's why we like to align ourselves with a company like Foxconn, so we can take it to the next level for high volume manufacturing. I'll be happy to answer any questions later. I know we are limited on time. Thank you, Jack, for inviting us, and appreciate it, you being here. Thank you.
Thank you to all of you. So I'm going to go ahead and springboard and leverage off of what Praveen said as far as the smart, connected, and electric. And the collaboration between all of you. I know some threads and commonality between Lordstown and with MIH, but talk a little bit about the collaboration that you see in here. Frank, just hold your microphone a little closer to your mouth would be helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and give this back to Jack. Not questions to any of you.
Or ecosystem.
Yes.
Okay. The MIH, I wouldn't just say an ecosystem. The MIH stand for an open and agnostic. The reason I'm wearing a Lordstown jacket and then take it off is because we think we are very open. The Lordstown motor can come to MIS, look for the resource and opportunity for software and hardware. And I also put on the INDI's hats and the Monarch's hats, and then take it off. The reason is I'm not playing with just multiple partnership. I'm actually bring everybody to work together as a collaboration. So this ecosystem was seldom found in the traditional OEM of automotive, but it's very easily found in the computer and the phone industry. That's how we're gonna change the world. The world will become more open and agnostic after the COVID, because everybody know the COVID, if you don't share information, you'll be in big trouble. We need to collaborate together and make it happen, MIH. Thank you.
And the only thing I would add to that, as Jack stated, is the collaboration will drive scale. And scale is the secret sauce, if you will, of reducing costs and providing more value to the customers. If we are able to reuse components, if we're able to reuse bills of material, bills of process, if we're able to reuse engineering solutions, we are able to bring products to market faster and at a lower cost. So that collaboration, like Jack said, you rarely see it in the automotive industry, and you definitely don't see it across OEMs. Having worked for 3 global OEMs over my 30-year career, oftentimes it was a challenge to get collaboration within the same company. So it's definitely innovative to pursue and to achieve collaboration across multiple OEMs, but the benefits are very, very clear.
I think one of the things that, again, keying off of what we're talking about today is the three key words are also in terms of open ecosystem. How can we leverage the same things that are in all of our products? We all have batteries, we all have cameras, we all have screens, we all have connectivity. How can we leverage this with open ecosystems to really drive adoption of all of these products across the whole world in a sustainable fashion? Everybody building their own factories and being vertically locked out and creating walled gardens is not a sustainable way of scaling, nor historically has that been successful. The reason everybody in the world now has a smartphone or access to a computer is because all of those components that are inside of it are all open, are all accessible. So why is it not an attainable thing on the mobility side of things, on the automation side of things, etc.? So that's why the four of us are here today, is to leverage and really have an open ecosystem and leverage our key strengths together with the goal of driving this on a global scale. And that's what is going to happen, whether we like it or not. Certain companies, if they're not doing it today, they will have to, they will be forced to. And we have seen that also in our past. So we are glad to be at the forefront of it today.
And think about the quicker to market in being able to do that and being able to collaborate and share through the ecosystem. Absolutely. Frank, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, and also about lessons learned and the strength of Foxconn, the consumer electronics, and one of the things, that new vision that we need to get out of this traditional way of doing things to be fast, and that's part of the strategy. I think that's the secret sauce for moving forward.
Absolutely. Thank you to all of you for responding on that. If I had to wave a magic wand, what would the industry look like? Because so many different countries are looking at those mandates. How quickly can you get to market? If I had to wave that magic wand, what would you do better or different in creating that new future of mobility?
You want to start with the pensioner? Okay, I'm just kidding. I have a young heart, and I need to make sure the next job that I'm gonna do after NEO is really to bring everybody together, and most importantly, the user experience will be utilize the technology rather than the technology is gonna drive for the user. Our user for the new generation, the millennial kids are all 22 years old, this year, 23 now. What they need is really something that in the digitalization and a very easy and simple agnostic solution. So I think the young talent that I met, including the school, the industry, and also the institutional people, they know we are going to a new world after COVID. We will implement the digital health and also the future AI into the next platform. This thing, the traditional guys have to learn quick. I know people are embracing this, but with a big conglomerate, they are moving not very fast. Building a smaller community with a smaller circle can move faster. So speed is important. Cost is also important, as what Ed and Praveen just said in terms of the scale. We're gonna drive this with the help from Foxconn, the partner, and also with all the branding guys, that we will be building a critical mass and then make sure everything is hunky-dory for cost and timing. So you will not see the vehicle to be developed in the next 5-6 years for a model change. You will have to see the new model with the digitalization of 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, or 2.1, 2.2. Every 3 months you have a new update. So that's something that we need to do it for our next generation. So be it. Praveen?
Yeah, on that side, I think Jack said it well. And if you're talking about a world where the basic needs of clean environment, water, and food are met, the two other things that can really improve life on the planet is basically access to energy, power. We are all electric vehicles for a reason, but we do need infrastructure. And the one after that is information, i.e. data. So if I could wave a wand, I would say everybody should be focused on building open ecosystems, building electric infrastructure and data infrastructure. Provide access to everybody so that everybody has electric energy access and also has access to data infrastructures. Instead of focusing on creating walled gardens, it will be great if we all invest into infrastructure, because that is the next major change. And that's going to allow us to scale very quickly as well and deploy these solutions faster. Without that infrastructure, things are going to take a lot longer. And Jack just said how important it is to do this fast.
I'll, if I may, twist the question a little bit. I won't wave a wand, but I'll tell you where I think the industry is going to be in the future. I think you're going to see more commonality and more specialization at the same time. If you look at the propulsion system of an electric vehicle, the batteries, the motors, the thermal system, the inverters, BMS, power electronics, that's 50 to 60% of the bill of material or the material cost of the vehicle. There's not always a justifiable case for there to be so many versions and variants of that. If we can gain greater commonality in those high cost, high time to engineer subsystems, and if we can gain commonality in some of the basic architecture behind the many computing modules that are in the vehicle, both on the hardware side and the software side, branded companies and EV design companies, and companies like us, like Lordstown Motors, we could design, engineer vehicles that are more tailored to meet the needs of OEMs or of our customers, and gain the benefits of scale of that 50-60% of the material cost, which allows those products to be more accessible to them, better value to them because they're more tailored to them, but they don't carry the cost from all the specifically designed components. So
I'd like to add to Jack's comment about focusing on customer needs. That's one thing that from day one we created vehicle technical specification for our car. We focused on more open source and what we can provide to our new generation to express themselves, to be themselves. And as I mentioned, it's about computing power, and that's the area that we're focusing on. And it gives that opportunity to people to express themselves and be part of a team and a group, and individual can be part of the worldwide. We're trying to bring down all the barriers. So you're in the car is an extension of you, extension of your house and your office. You can do live streaming at any time, create videos, and so that's something that is the key to listen. Very flexible.
Thank you so much. It's very clear in your car that there's specifics that you've addressed as far as what the consumer or the customer would need as far as the technology, the availability, and the comfort. I've been around Jack for a lot of years, and I've heard about this second living room for a lot of years, so I'm seeing it finally come to fruition, so it's great to see.
We have an obligation to make sure our next generation behave more like a human rather than like a machine. We don't want the AI to control us.
I think over time we will, just like we don't say you're on mute anymore, and we don't say information superhighway anymore, I think range anxiety is going to go away. I think over time, as the more people get familiar with the attributes and benefits of electrified vehicles, and infrastructure develops, charging infrastructure further develops on the road and more people put charging units in their homes, the issue of range anxiety is going to decrease significantly. I drive an EV. I've been driving EV for some time. I'm very used to charging it in my garage. Getting back into an ICE vehicle whenever I have to travel and I can't get one from the rental car company, that's the strange experience for me. So I think we're on that path.
Yeah, it's interesting is we still see the tractor as a mobility device. If you think about it, if you think about how your food gets to you, if you think about not just the fact that the DoorDash delivery or whatever else, but also how the food was originally farmed. We want to fill this mobility gap with smart mobility. Smart mobility means not only are the things happening, but also how, and they're happening in an efficient manner. At Monarch Tractor, what we're trying to do is you should know not just the DoorDash name that dropped off your food, but also the farmer who actually grew the food for you, and also how it was grown, and that's where the smart side of it really helps, right? And we are thinking about smart mobility here, and at the Monarch tractors are not just for farmers. If you walk outside this building, you'll see a number of tractors moving goods around. So mobility is people and goods, and how do we do that in efficient and transparent manners from a data standpoint and as well from a sustainability standpoint.
With partners like Foxconn. So looking forward to 2023, and you will see a lot of good news coming out, and a lot of announcement with INDI.
Thank you to all of you for this time, for your contribution. It's clear we can't do it alone when it comes to creating the future of mobility. So I'm a huge Wordle fan, so I went through and looked at the different words that we popped up here. We've got autonomous, electric, AI, easier, faster, smarter, reducing range anxiety, efficient and affordable. And I have to say that this group here, having ridden in this car, sat in that one, and checked out your amazing tractor, they're all at the forefront of doing this, and they're doing it together. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us, thank our panelists for their time, and have a great CES and a very happy New Year to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.